Hey everyone, and welcome. So today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take a single sentence, one you've probably seen on a dozen syllabuses, and we're going to pull it apart to show you the powerful learning formula that's hidden right inside.
I mean, think about it for a second. You've sat through all the lectures, you've done the readings, you've crammed for the quizzes. But when you get to that final hurdle, that final project, how do you really show that you get it? Is it just about spitting back facts on a multiple choice test, or is there something more to it? And boom, there it is. That simple, almost kind of boring instruction. Now, on the surface, it just looks like another assignment, right? But what I want to show you is how this one sentence is actually a brilliantly designed key that unlocks a much, much deeper level of understanding. This isn't just an instruction, it's a recipe for mastery. Okay, so to really get why this assignment is so powerful, we first have to talk about one of the biggest challenges in all of learning, closing that gap between just memorizing something and actually being able to use it. So on the one hand, you've got what we call passive recall. It's kind of like having a bunch of loose puzzle pieces floating around in your brain. You've memorized them just long enough for the test, but they don't really connect. But then, on the other hand, you have active synthesis, and this is where the magic happens. This is when you start connecting those pieces, that light bulb goes on, and that knowledge actually becomes a part of you. It's yours. And this is exactly where that mini presentation comes in. It's more than just a task. We can think of it as the presentation principle. It's the mechanism, it's the bridge that literally carries you from just knowing the facts to truly owning that knowledge. Now, what's so cool about this is how it completely flips the script on your role as a learner. It shifts you from being just a passive consumer of information, sitting there absorbing facts, into an active creator. You're actually building something new with the stuff you've learned. So, how in the world does this one little assignment work all of this magic? Well, let's go back to that original sentence and deconstruct it piece by piece to see its brilliant design. Believe it or not, hidden inside that one assignment is a simple but powerful three-step formula. Step 1, choose your passion. Step 2, apply your tools. And step 3, craft your story. Let's dig into each one. All right, step 1 comes from that little phrase, a topic of their choice. Now, this might seem like a small detail, but trust me, it is everything. By giving you agency, the power to choose, it lets you connect the course material to something you're genuinely interested in. All of a sudden, you're not just learning about some abstract concept, you're using that concept to explore your favorite movie or a hobby or something you actually care about. Step 2 is all about that phrase, using the vocabulary and grammar. See, those are the tools you've been collecting in your mental toolbox all semester. This part of the assignment forces you to open up that toolbox and actually build something. You can't just recognize the ideas anymore, you have to put them to work, proving you know not just what they are, but how to use them. And finally, step 3. This is the secret sauce, the hidden genius of the whole assignment. Deliver a brief presentation. This is so much more than just public speaking. It's about synthesis. To present an idea, you have to organize your thoughts. You have to create a clear story and narrative that makes sense to somebody else. It all comes back to that brilliant old saying, you don't truly understand something until you can teach it to someone else. Now, all of this leads to what I think is the most important part, because the skills you build doing this, they don't just disappear after the final grade is in. They stick with you for a long, long time. I mean, think about what you're actually doing here. You're not just talking about a topic. You're practicing critical thinking by organizing your ideas. You're sharpening your communication skills. You're learning how to research, synthesize information, and manage your time. And maybe most importantly, you're building real confidence in your ability to stand up and share what you know. So the next time you see this on a syllabus, don't just groan and think of it as another final project. See it for what it really is, a rehearsal. It's a low-stakes practice run for your high-stakes future. Because whether you're pitching an idea in a boardroom or explaining a complex problem to a client, or even defending your research at a conference, you're going to be using these exact same skills. When you boil it all down, this simple assignment does something pretty incredible. It changes you from a student into a teacher, from a learner into a budding expert. So the real question I want to leave you with is this. What knowledge are you ready to own, to create, and to share with the world?